let's talk about this week's Parsha. This week we're starting a new book of Torah called Shemot. This is the second book. We finished the book Pashut, and now we're starting Shemot. So this week's Parsha is the first Parsha in this book, and it's called Parshat Shemot. You remember Yaakov came to Egypt with his sons and all their families, and there were 70 people, Bnei Israel, called Bnei Israel, all of Yaakov's family, and they settled in the area called Goshen. And they lived there peacefully for a while. But time has passed, and Yaakov died, and his sons died, and Joseph died. And it's been 210 years since Yaakov came to Egypt. And now there was a new Pharaoh. And that Pharaoh didn't like Israel. He was really mean. He forgot what Joseph did to Egypt. And he was really mean to Israel. Now, there was a reason why Hashem wanted Jewish people to stay in Israel for a while. Because Hashem wanted to test Israel. And there were 4 tests that they had to pass. Test number 1. Hashem wanted to see if Israel gonna be serving Hashem no matter what, or they're gonna start serving idols just like Egyptians. Test number 2. Hashem wanted to see if Jewish man would marry Jewish woman and Jewish woman would marry Jewish man, or they're gonna start marrying Egyptians. Test number 3. Are they gonna speak Lashon HaKodesh, the Hebrew language, to their children and give their children Jewish names? Or they're gonna start speaking Egyptian and giving their children Egyptian names. Okay, test number 4. When later Hashem is gonna send Moshe, who will lead Israel out of Egypt, are they gonna go with Moshe? Or they will say, we'd rather stay here in Egypt because this is our home? This was test number 4. So those Jewish people who passed all these 4 tests, they were redeemed from Egypt. But those who did not pass this test, they died in Egypt. So now I'm going to tell you a story about Moshe's wonderful staff. When Hashem created the heavens and the earth, He created wonderful staff that He gave to the first man, Adam. And Adam passed it to his great-great-great-great-grandson, who then passed it to someone else, and then it got to Noah. And Noah gave it to Abraham. Abraham gave it to Isaac. Isaac gave it to Yaakov. And Yaakov gave it to Joseph. And when Joseph died, Yitro was serving in Pharaoh's house. And he knew that that was a very special staff. So he took it and he put it in his garden by his house. He put it in his garden, and once he put it in the ground, he never was able to take it out. It was stuck there. And he said, whoever takes this staff out of the ground can marry one of my daughters. But for years, no one was able to do that. Until later, Moshe, who came to Yittro's house, he took the staff and he was able to pick it up. He pulled it out of the ground. And Moshe married one of Yittro's daughters, Zipporah. And then later Moshe had this staff when he was going to Pharaoh, and he performed all these different plagues with this wonderful staff. That was a story from Parshat Shemot. Shabbat Shalom.